Hey, you guys. So, this is going to be um, a channel message I wanted to share with you guys. Okay. Channeled some stuff earlier and I want to share it with you. Um, yeah, Spirit just dropped this on me, and so I'm like, okay, I'm going to share it. This channel message. I hope it's not too long. I hope YouTube doesn't fuck with my live like they did last night. I'm not going to put that out there, but you know. So the channel message I got earlier today, was to start writing your testimonies, like however you're led to do it. Whether you're led to, get a journal, whether it be like doing an audio or recording yourself, like you're interviewing yourself, like Spirit wants you, it's almost like scripting, but how I got it was like write your testimony as if it's already done, like you're sharing it before an audience, or like you're writing a book telling your story, or something that you are recently, over, like something that you're about to overcome right now. Like, this is my story, this is my testimony, this is what I went through, this is what I came from. Like, Spirit wants you to start writing as if it's already done, like you about to sit your ass on Oprah or Table Talk, or I don't know, Ellen, like you're about to sit before an audience. Like, write out your story, preferably, like I said, like a journal, like writing it down, actually writing it rather than typing it. Maybe even speaking it. Like I said, you can do like a voice recording, or you can record yourself. But this is what I was led, because it's already done. Like, it is, and you might actually be sharing your testimony actually with others. Like, you guys may have blogs. Some of you guys may be guided to like start your own channels for whatever reason, like whatever your channel will be about. You're being guided to do that, I feel like. Um, I was taking a nap and I had a vision. It was like I was in a parking, it wasn't a parking garage per se, but it kind of looked like, when you live in like a community or whatever, or an apartment complex, they have parking spaces, and they have like the roofs or whatever. I don't know, the parking spaces or whatever. And I seen that in my dream, and I heard align with your angels and your guides or something like that. So I woke up and I had to type it out real quick before I forgot, because I feel like it's a part of this message. So I looked up what it means to dream of a parking garage at a house or an apartment. It says it means that you feel accomplished in your goals and you are satisfied with your life. It is time to take a breather and rest for a while. Looking for a parking space in a big garage lot suggests that you are looking for a place in your life. I feel like it's more so the first thing, that you're about to accomplish a major goal. Something that it's something you can rest upon. Like, you don't have to worry about it. It's already taken care of. It's already done. Um, and I always ask Spirit to show me, um, like, give me a scripture to confirm what I'm getting is from Spirit, is what I'm getting divinely given to me. So I was given Corinthians. At first I heard Chronicles, and I'm going to get into that too. I heard Chronicles at first, and I was like, Chronicles, because I heard 54 and 9. I was like, I don't think there's a Bible scripture 54 and 9. So I put 5 and 4 through 9. And I was like, okay, maybe it's Corinthians. I put Corinthians, and this is what I picked up. It's Second Corinthians 5 and 4 through 9. And I'll explain it when I'm picking up what I feel like it means. It says, for while we are in this tent, we groan and are burdened, because we do not wish to be unclothed, but to be clothed instead with our heavenly dwelling, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. So it's speaking about the fleshly body, the physical body, the physical realm, basically, being groaning and being burdened by your current physical circumstances or your current where you're at right now, and wanting to dwell in a higher space, in the space of the divine. um, I took it more so as being in a compromising position. It's tough. It's not easy where you are right now. Looking at it from a 3D perspective, looking at it from where you are, it's challenging. Um, and then you have now, verse 5 says, now the one who has fashioned us for this very purpose is God, who has given us the Spirit as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come. So fashioning yourself is, Spirit is preparing you, like you're being prepared for what's to come, the bigger purpose. What is the purpose of your higher divinity, your higher purpose? For a lot of you guys, your testimony is a part of some type of bigger purpose that you're about to fulfill. Because you're about to share your story and it's going to help others. And I keep getting this message. This is like an ongoing message I keep getting. And it's hard to believe where you're at sometimes because it doesn't look like it. And that's because we're in our flesh when we look at things from that perspective. Like nothing's happening. I've been in this situation for far too long. Like you look at all the obstacles, you look at all the reasons why. For some of you guys already know, and it's just a matter of waiting and knowing that it's going to happen when it's going to happen. Verse 6 says, therefore we are always confident and know that as long as we are at home in the body, we are away from the Lord. So we're confident in knowing that whenever we're in our flesh, we are not in our divinity. We are not in tune with Spirit. We are not in tune with God, the universe. So it's a high knowing. It's like, you know, when you're in your flesh, you know, when you're in this, like looking at things from just a 3D perspective, and when you're not in tune with Spirit. 7 says, for we live by faith and not by sight. So some of you are already confident in knowing what the deal is. You know that, okay, if I'm not in alignment with my higher self, I'm dwelling in the lower vibrational energy. I'm dwelling and focusing too much on the physical. For we live by faith and not by sight. So faith is not being delusional. It's not just hoping for the best. Faith is the ultimate trust in knowing that what is of your highest good is definitely going to come to pass. Then verse 8 says, we are confident, I say, and would prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. So saying confidently to yourself, like, I know I would prefer rather not to be dwelling in this lower vibrational energy, and I wish to be in a higher frequency. I wish to be in the energy of divinity, clocked in the divine energy, aligned with the universe, aligned with what is, aligned with the higher consciousness, that universal infinite space, that energy, whether you call it God, whether you call it a divine intelligence, whatever you call it. 9. Verse 9 says, so we make it our goal to please him, whether we are at home in the body or away from it. So we make it a goal to stay in the presence of that divinity, whether we are in the midst of our flesh, whether we're going through, or whether we trust, or we are, well, no matter where we are within ourselves, we make it our goal to stay in the presence of divinity, in the divine. Because it's natural for us to dwell in our flesh, and it's natural for us to get caught up in the 3D reality of what it looks like, and oh, this isn't working, oh, this isn't happening, and seeing all the obstacles, rather than staying in that high vibration and saying, okay, yeah, I see this and I recognize that it's there, but I'm not going to dwell in that lower vibrational energy. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to let my circumstances dictate what I know is going on behind the scenes, because we don't see everything behind the scenes. But when you're in tune with your divinity, you have an understanding of where you're at and why you're there. And sometimes we're not meant to know everything, and sometimes it's okay. Like, it's okay not to know, and that's not easy, and I'll attest to that. Like, it's not easy for me to not having being in a place of not having everything known to me, because I be wanting to know everything. Okay. So like I said, I was like looking for Chronicles. I'm like, Chronicles? 5 and 4, I couldn't find anything at first. Then I looked up what the word chronicle means, and it aligns, and it totally makes sense to what I was saying about journaling and stuff like that, about your testimony and your story. So when you look up the definition of chronicle, it says plural noun, a factual written account of important or historical events in the order of their occurrence. So that's pretty much you telling your story, your testimony. Like, this is what I went through. A work of fiction or nonfiction that describes a particular series of events. Record related to a series of events in a factual and detailed way. And I was like, that's crazy. Because you know how you hear words and you know them to some level, but it helps for you to like look it up, like what the actual definition of a word means, and it aligns with the message that I was getting. So the words that are associated to chronicles is record, a written account, history, annals, archives, register, a log, a diary, a journal. I was like, okay. Description, a story, a narrative, a calendar. So that's what chronicles means. So this is, again, like, there's a reason why Spirit wants you to write. And for some of you that feel led to write a book, or maybe like a vlog, or to write, if you've been writing books, now is maybe the time for you to share some type of story that, you know, something that you went through, or you want to start a channel or something, or you want to share a certain testimony on your channel, but this is confirmation for you. This isn't going to be something that everybody just takes at face value. You gotta discern whether this is meant for you or not, because I feel like you'll know whether it's a confirmation of something you've already got, or it's speaking to you. But always use your discernment and ask Spirit, is this message for me? Don't just take everything that somebody says and just run with it. So yeah. But yeah, I was like looking into the Chronicles, into the Bible, because I wanted to break that down. And I came across the story of Reuben. So Reuben is one of the tribes of, one of the Hebrew Israelite tribes that they speak about in the Bible. If anybody knows about the Hebrew Israelites and all of that, and if you go into the story of Exodus, how they were in bondage in Egypt and in slavery, basically slavery, and how they were promised to be freed, delivered. Moses came through, all of that whole story. Those, you know, if you want to look at it as something historical, or you want to look at it as something metaphoric or symbolic, a symbolic meaning, however you look at it, this has something to do with birthrights and promises that is yours. So the story, the Chronicle 5, brought me to the story of Reuben, and Reuben means behold a son, and this is one of the sons of Jacob. I don't want to get too much into all, you know, the Bible stuff. You can look into it if you want, but Jacob was Reuben's father. It was a birthright story with him too. So basically Jacob gave away Reuben's, due to, I guess Reuben had slept with his father's concubine, or allegedly, it was something crazy like that. So he gave away Reuben's birthright as the eldest child to his son Joseph. So it was kind of a similar thing with giving away the birthright, because Jacob had taken his brother Esau's birthright in some deceptive energy. But I was getting, nonetheless, you guys can break that down however you want it. But I was getting something with birthright. So some of you guys may have felt like other people have taken something that should have been yours, or that should be me. This should be me. This should be me in that position, or I should have this, or how come this person is getting married and I'm not, or this person got this job and I'm not, and I've been doing this for 20 years and I haven't reached this place and such and such. So it's that feeling of something being taken from you. But what I got from the moral of the story is that everything happens under divine order, and nothing that's yours can technically be stolen. Like, yeah, it would make sense to say, okay, well, because I'm the firstborn, I should get, you know, such and such amount of inheritance over my other siblings, or let's just take it as an example, like use that as an example. But who's to say that that's not the way that your promise is going to come? Your promise could come through something that God does for you, or the universe does, or something that you do on your own, in your own power and your own divinity, meaning in alignment with divine spirit, not your ego. But yeah, that's what I took from it. So the story of Jacob, basically he demanded a blessing, and that Jacob was called Israel. So Israel is the seeds of the Israelites, or the it comes from the word Israelite. So he is the father of the 12 tribes. Technically, how I look at the 12 tribes is kind of in relation to the zodiac too. I look at that in that way, but you guys, I don't want to like get too much into that either. But yeah, so Jacob was given the name Israel, the one that struggled with the divine angel, or the one that prevailed with God, a man seeing God, or he was given the promise of the 12 tribes. So the 12 tribes were his sons. So this is all about birthrights and energy. So I feel like also this is for whoever resonates with it. And I might like lose some people because it might not make sense. And this message is not for everybody. So I don't expect everybody to resonate with it. But I'm getting this energy of something with birthrights. Like what's meant for you is not going to pass you by. Nobody can steal or take away something that was given to you. So if it's something that the world says, okay, so and so got the job but you didn't, or oh, this should have been my job, like something with this like worldly titles, worldly limitations and things. It's like spirit is going to, in abundance, like do more than what you can even fathom. It's bigger than what you can conceive for yourself, or what anybody can do for you. Nobody's going to be able to take credit for whatever this is that you're coming into. Nobody can take credit for that. So if you feel like something was taken, oh, this person, oh, they got the, oh, okay, this was the person that I was supposed to be with, oh, and she took him, or they married, or, oh, I was supposed to have a baby first, or whatever it is for you that you feel like was just stripped. What's meant for you, however it was sliced and diced in the physical, you feel like you got cheated out of something, it was not meant for you. Everybody has their own divine gifts, their own purpose. So don't ever look at it as the universe is cheating you out of something. That's a lie. That's something to bring you down, make you doubt your existence, make you start questioning things. Oh, am I good enough? And maybe sometimes you might need to be triggered into that, triggered into that thought or that feeling, so that you can be guided to go within and find the truth. But don't believe in that energy. Don't believe in that. Because Spirit's about to do something amazing, and there's a reason why Spirit wants you to document your purpose. There's a reason why, or there's a reason why Spirit wants you to document your testimony, what you've gone through thus far. However you're guided to write it out. There's a reason, whether you plan on sharing it or not, or whatever. If you feel like this is speaking to you, do it however you're guided to do it. But I feel like for some of you, you will be sharing your story in some type of way, and it's like where you're at, you can't fathom where you're about to go, where you're coming into. And a lot of you, where you've been, this was a part of the whole process to prepare you for where you're about to go. Like, you gotta be in that position of where you're going, because it's like if you would have been put in a certain position 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 months ago, whatever, you may have not been prepared for it or able to handle what you're coming into. So you had to shed your skin. You had to go through some heavy times. You had to go through a period of loneliness. You had to go through a period of being lost and not knowing, because it's all a part of your story. It's all a part of your testimony. It's all a part of your journey. So if you ever get caught up in the moment of what is, think of the verse that I read. Doesn't have to be literal. Um, if you're religious, you get it. If you're not, you can also get it and take it in a symbolic way. Um, Therefore, we are always confident and know that as long as we are at home in the body, we are away from the Lord. So we know that whenever we are caught up in the flesh, we're caught up in the physical and what it looks like, we're away from that divinity. We're not in the presence of the divine or God or in our higher energy, our higher vibration. So when you get in that place, remind yourself that if I'm not here in the presence of the divine, I'm away, and that's not a good place to be. Anything that is not of a divine vibration, it doesn't feel good. And it's not to say that you shouldn't honor where you are, because it happens, but it's a discipline thing to not stay in that energy, not allow it to pull you into that, if that makes sense. So I was guided to share that. I hope I didn't take too much of y'all time, but that's what I wanted to share. So I hope you guys don't mind, and this message helps somebody, bring you some clarity, bring you some hope. Yeah, as always, much love. I'll catch you guys in the next reading. Take care. Be blessed. Peace.